In 1987, several members of our group traveled south of Monterey to the Point Sur area. 3 miles off Point Sur was a small, shallow area that had intrigued us. In September and October of 1988, 6 weekend expeditions were planned to further explore this area by putting down teams of divers using the same techniques we learned when surveying and diving Cordell Bank.
I feel good about my do. Everybody's here and accounted for. Everybody's up to date on everything. Paperwork's done. Why are we doing this? As you already know, this place that we want to explore has never been seen before by divers, so far as we know. And furthermore, there is no current project such as associated with the aquarium.
Just south of Point Sur, near Pfeiffer Point, is a safe anchorage known as Wreck Beach.
it took a little jiggling for some people, but everybody is fully qualified and fully ready. Not only that, but I think the ocean is fully ready too. I think we've got a really good chance.
I was afraid of that.
Information. So when we take photographs, what we want to do is try and get as much information in the picture as possible. This means sort of aligning or orienting or framing the pictures to include information as opposed to art. If we have time and space later on, we can be more artsy. But right now, it's a question of scientific documentation. Any kind of gear that you want, forget it. Specimens, drop them and you're in trouble. That's far distant, low priority compared to safety. As long as safety is there, try and observe things. Observe the topography. In particular, I want everyone, when they get back, as soon as they get back, to get a clipboard and make a drawing, make a sketch with as much detail as you can of the topography. Where was a ridge? Where was a pinnacle? Where was the anchor? Where did you go? Where did you see a fish? Where did you see a starfish? Where did you see sponges? Where were the other divers? As much as you can remember. And believe me, this information will go out of your head as soon as you get out of the water. Okay? Here's Point Sur. And there's a water spout. It's a tornado over the water. That's right where we're going. Engine and just drift for a while and watch the Loran to see which direction we're drifting. So that'll take a half an hour or something, 15 minutes. And we'll know how much current, roughly, which direction it's going. Then we'll go downstream and come up against the current. And if we've aimed properly at the Loran target, we'll go right across the pinnacle. We get to the other side, beyond it, then we'll drop the anchor that takes the descent line down and a float. And if we are good, and we have been good sometimes, we've been bad sometimes, the line will go right, the anchor will go right down to the back side of the pinnacle and bring the line across the top. On board, we've put the T-bars and the tanks strapped to the T-bars, today at least. His first priority is to be available medically, so that makes 3 teams of 3, and it would be your option to be sitting on the Zodiac above the dive site or to be on board here, whichever you think would be better. What I'd like is for myself and Bill and Tom to make the first dive, and for Don and Harry and Brian to make the second dive, for Jack to handle the Zodiac. Where are you? Jack, right. Jack to handle the Zodiac first, and Keith and Pat would be the third dive team. What that means is that Keith and Pat will be safety divers first off. So your first job will be to suit up and sit on the Zodiac above the divers and service them, and radio the times to Gale and keep a log. 20-fathom pinnacle, it appeared at the exact coordinates that we had measured last year. As we came up on it, we passed and dropped the anchor at about this point. Now we're drifting off into deeper water, which is probably sediment. Street. Yes, I think this is kind of an historic occasion. As far as we know, this is the first time any people have ever been here. And there's kind of an exhilaration in being the first. We've had a good piece of luck today. Nice seas, 2 pieces of luck in dropping the anchor. And we're positioned just right. Everything seems favorable. So check back in about 20 minutes and we'll let you know how it is.
I was standing in the background trying to
dive out of this most time and so on. Let's take it easy and say back off from the best.
Yeah, it's probably
performance. Make sure
If we do go from the line.
But I already loaded the film.
You can swim to it. You're not going to collect anything in mid-water.
Right. You have to swim. be an efficient safety dive where I'd fall all the way down to the bottom. Would that be all right? Yeah. I'll come back up with that. No, you don't need to bother then.
Just stay down and wait for the next team.
Making sure you're safe. Now don't succumb to overconfidence. What we need is to have your edge up so that your performance is top notch. What paranoia? But don't do any better than your absolute best, please.
I'm learning to temper my overconfidence. I'm paranoid.
That's a good, healthy attitude. Please work quickly but safely.
Wave bye-bye, Bill.
Oh, look at that swell.
How are you going to do this dive?
I put a lander in the dive, take a few pictures, and hope when I come back to talk about it. And we can continue this interview later on. Yeah, when I'm back.
How about you, Jeff?
Well, this trip is one for going out and beating up on the bottom of the ocean. And somehow, between it and me, I'm feeling it's going to win.
Where's your hammer?
My hammer is already attached to my equipment. My trusty 5-pound sledgehammer. And if we bring back a couple of pieces from a couple of different places of bedrock from different pinnacles, and I think we will have done made a pretty productive dive this morning.
Tell me your pre-dive plan.
Pre-dive plan, put my gear on, check it, jump in. Take wide-angle pictures of where Jeff is taking rock samples, and then possibly of that mysterious tunnel that's down there.
No, but what I was going to say is, I have one of those automatic cameras like yours. If you wanted to run around or use mine or.
Oh, I just thought while there's some transit, if you wanted to take some publicity photos. We're on site, operational.
These life preservers, where's one of the life preservers?
Life preserver?
Yes. Thank you. Yes, these life preservers, which should be in place by putting them over your
A
head.
garter, hey!
And then take this strap and run it around the back of your waist and clip it in. You can also use your seat cushions as a life preserver in the knee.
What are we
Excuse me, there are no seat cushions on board. You're not, in the event that you're looking for seat cushions, please do not
Yes, in the event of cabin depressurization.
right here, the life
Are you having fun yet?
Merely take one of these masks that drops out of the ceiling, insert it in your mouth, and breathe
deeply.
Now remember, it's important to put this in the event of depressurization, be sure to put it in your mouth first before assisting any of your children.
That is correct.
What should you do if you have a baby during this process?
Well, we
Be
have one
surprised.
semi-seasick doctor who would be more than happy to.
Come on! Adios!
You might want to pull up the...
Remember, you're the first men and woman to see this place.
Yeah.
Ciao, baby.
Look at
Yeah. this one.
No, he wants to lose another camera.
beautiful day. We don't get them like this very often. Looking forward to a very nice dive. We're going to attach ourselves to this area. And while we're doing that, we're going to attach ourselves to a new dive spot for this afternoon's dive. Very good. Oh, I always want to forget this.
Keith, got any words?
Fantastic dive, I can tell already. But not a camera dive. I mean, dive.
I think it's going to be boring.
Bill, what do you have to say? As usually he says nothing. Yes.
Bill, you look like you're all set to go here, huh? Yep. When I get in, I'll watch this one first, and that one. I'll get the air out of that and stuff like that.
Go down and try to get some pictures of the jellyfish and life that's floating by the free water near the anchor line. And someone who knows more biology than me can tell me exactly what these things are that I'm taking pictures of. Okay, take the lens cover off and hand it to me when I get in. Off the camera.
one diver back on the surface. That is Bill Cruz, over.
Tom is coming up too. Can we have that big Zodiac?
No.
We have to go back in this one. We have to detach from the ball.
Tom is on the other side of the boat.
I guess I should take the regulator out of my mouth.
Oh, why?
I have a hard time lifting these suckers.
No, there's a pack on the back.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay.
Give your honest opinion. You're on film.
That was beautiful. I wish I had another couple of tanks, because I was just having a great time shooting those pictures with the tripod, but it took a while to set up.
Were you shooting it with the overhang there?
Yeah.
Pretty neat, huh?
Yeah.
Tom Sandalina is also on the surface, over.
Fully air, we probably should have stayed a little longer, but we're 28% oxygen, so 150?
Yeah.
So how long are we down there? Really? I'm starting to concern about the
Take care of these guys first.
I was my first 5 grades.
Oh, they've already found another pinnacle. It's right over here.
Oh, good.
Do they have the temporary buoy down?
Yeah. Okay.
That was beautiful.
Is that a nice pinnacle or what?
Oh yeah, that's a great place.
You know, I think there's more beautiful rocks here than at Cordell.
Yeah. What was your visibility?
Why don't you put that outside the boat? Or are you trying to get that to wash off your camera? Saltwater wash, huh?
I don't know.
You're narc.
That was a true pinnacle.
Really?
We have a chance to look back and see what we accomplished, compare what we expected to do with what we actually did, and I think the results show that we were far more successful than we really had a right to expect. We went to Point Sur expecting the weather to be impossibly bad. I personally thought if we were able to dive 1 out of 3, or at best 1 out of 2 days, that we could call it a success. But in fact, we were able to dive 13 out of 19 days, in a little more than 2 out of 3. So the first thing was that we got a good break with the weather, but the second was that we were well prepared. We really knew what we were going to do, and we carried it out according basically to plan A, and it worked. The results show it in the statistics. We were able to dive on 4 separate sites. We were able to make a large collection of specimens, specimens taken essentially every day that we dive. We were able to get upwards of 2,000 underwater photographs, and adding to that the visual images and verbal descriptions and written descriptions of the divers when they debriefed after coming back. This all forms a body of information and data that is already giving us a basic picture of what this area looks like, image of what this place is like. We already have some information about how it compares with what we're familiar with from Cordell Bank. They seem to be similar in many ways, but there are some significant differences. Some animals we have found at Point Sur that we never saw at Cordell Bank, gorgonians, for instance, and large brachiopods. There are fewer sponges at Point Sur than we saw at Cordell Bank. Point Sur seems to be redder than we saw at Cordell Bank, which has a lot of yellow and white sponges. Point Sur is only 3 miles offshore. That certainly has is going to have a significant influence on the populations. It'll certainly be interesting to compare what we actually observed with what we might expect from some models of these populations. Beyond the purely scientific information that is resulting and will result from this expedition, I think the personal experience of the people who carried this out is transcendental. We have been able, again, to see places on the face of the earth that no one has ever seen before. No one could tell us what we were going to see there, and in a number of cases we were quite surprised. The effort was made by 29 different divers, plus 2 doctors and 2 cooks. The divers made altogether 109 dives. There were 2 rather close calls, but no accidents, no medical problems. So overall, it not only was successful, but it was basically safe. The major sites that we've investigated so far, this particular point was discovered in the NOAA survey of 1986, and it's 19 fathoms deep. That's the first place we dived on, and it turns out to be one of the larger, more interesting places. It's absolutely covered with hydrocoral and anemones. This place here was indicated in the NOAA survey. It's 22 fathoms deep. That small depth difference, just 3 fathoms, is significant because what we found here was that the cover was not nearly as thick or as lush. We discovered these 3 points, A, B, and C. Each of these comes to about 125 feet from the surface, and we dived on these 2. We found this one to be a rock that was jutting out, tilted at a 45-degree angle and overhanging. And this one was a more rounded hump, sort of like a dome. We haven't seen this one yet. We're looking forward to diving on this in the next season. Here's a rough sketch drawn to scale of the pinnacle, which we labeled B. And you notice the boat up here on the surface, and here is 50, 100, 150, and 200 foot depths. So this sketch is to scale both in the vertical and in the horizontal directions. So you see what a small target this is when you're trying to drop an anchor here. You don't know which direction the current is, there's wind on the vessel, you're not sure exactly where the anchor is going to drop. We were able to drop the anchor essentially right there, and fortuitously or with good preparation fell right on it. This is this tilted rock. It sticks up at 45 or 50 degrees and it overhangs perhaps 20 feet or so. It's quite a spectacular sight, and we got some good photographs of it. And in particular, we need photographs of a different nature. We need some photographs with more light so that we can see the very interesting topography. That's a little bit of technology that we'll be developing, trying to get more comprehensive photographs, and also perhaps more underwater video so that we can see a larger area in color and correlate it with our observations and with the specimens. The bottom line is we've had a tantalizing and good first look. We're looking forward to the second look.